Welcome to episode 400 of the Affirmation Pod podcast. This is Josie. Whether you're a new listener, a fairly new listener, a longtime listener, thank you for joining me here on episode 400. It actually doesn't feel like that long ago that I was creating episode 300. And it was in episode 300 where I first announced that as part of the mission here at Affirmation Pod, I want to help lift underrepresented voices. And part of that is by covering the hosting costs for Ari Antoine of the Sensuelle podcast. Her podcast is all about empowering women as it relates to sex and sensuality. I've also never mentioned it before on the podcast, but we also support WOC podcasters, that's Women of Color podcasters. Danielle over there is all about helping women of color start a podcast, build a podcast, and make connections within the community. We also still continue to support Barry over at Podcasts in Color. That is a directory of podcasts made by people of color. You can check it out at podcastsincolor.com. That's podcastsincolor.com. And I know you've heard me share about them before, but Lee and Andy over at the Asian American Podcasters Association continue to work so hard to highlight podcasters who look like me through speaking, networking. They even have their own awards now. I'm so grateful for what they do. And I'm so grateful that as part of my work here at Affirmation Pod, I can give back to them. And you're a part of this by listening, subscribing, and also when you connect with the sponsors of Affirmation Pod, that is also going to help raise up some of the most underrepresented voices in podcasting. Now today, I want to thank you so much for listening to Affirmation Pod. Many of you have commented on my consistency, and I'm very thankful to say over the years, I've really hammered out a good system behind the scenes to produce episodes for you with the least stress and pressure on my end. I know Affirmation Pod has been there for you during some of the hardest and darkest moments in your life. I also know that you've seen the difference that Affirmation Pod makes to help you feel calmer, more confident, more self-accepting. Some of you've said it's helped you in ways that you weren't aware of before. And trust me, I'm only just beginning. I'm excited to continue bringing episodes to you. So let's get to today's episode. It is called You Are Stronger Than You Think. There have been a lot of requests for episodes that are You Are ones instead of I Am ones. So you will hear more You Are ones mixed in moving forward. Thank you to everyone who has requested this. You Are Stronger Than You Think is for the times you don't feel like you can do it. You don't feel like you've got it in you. You've had it. You've had enough. You're having the thought that you won't make it. It's just not there. This one is for you. It is You Are Stronger Than You Think. This episode is proudly sponsored by a very long-time friend of the podcast. It is Native Deodorant. I tell you, celebrate episode 400 with me by getting one of the limited edition products through the Native and Baked by Melissa collaboration. What does this collaboration mean? It means whether it's body wash, classic deodorant, sensitive deodorant, plastic-free deodorant, you have a choice of these delicious, amazing scents. Tie-dye vanilla cupcake, mint cookie cupcake, fresh peach cupcake, ginger lemonade cupcake. We have the mint cookie cupcake body wash. My children have taken it over. They refuse to use anything but this mint cookie cupcake body wash. I am right there with them. Come try it for yourself. Native uses ingredients that you can pronounce. Everything is vegan and cruelty-free. Don't just take my word for it. There's over 15,000 five-star reviews. So let's do this. Smell and feel fresh all day long with Native. Get 20% off your first order by going to nativedeo.com/affirmation or use promo code affirmation at checkout. That's nativedeo.com/affirmation or use promo code affirmation at checkout for 20% off your first order. Thank you, Native, for sponsoring this 400th episode of Affirmation Pod. And now here's You Are Stronger Than You Think. You are stronger than you think. You may be telling yourself that you're weak. You may be thinking, life is too much. You may be thinking that you just can't do this. Remember, what you think may not be true. And in this case, it's not true. You are stronger than you think. You are more powerful than you know. You are tough. You can handle hard things. You can manage uncomfortable feelings. You can also manage uncomfortable situations. You can stay centered. You can keep your calm because you are stronger than you know. And taking a deep breath now. Tapping into your abilities deep inside you. Connecting to your power to get through hard times. And receiving these affirmations. You can figure this one out. You are resilient. You are stronger than you think. You are more powerful than you know. You can find the path through this. You can cope. You can rise above. You are powerful. It can be overwhelming. It can be triggering. It can stretch you so thin. You are stronger than you know. You are so resilient. You have so much power. You are more powerful than you know. You have so much power to do what your thoughts are telling you that you can't. You are tough. You can handle hard things. You are managing uncomfortable feelings. You are tough. You are managing uncomfortable feelings. You are managing heavily charged feelings. You are managing uncomfortable situations. You are managing heavily charged situations. You are staying grounded. You are keeping centered. You are really calm. You are stronger than you know. You are stronger than you think. You are you, and you are incredibly strong. That's you are stronger than you think. And it really is in those challenging times that you discover you are stronger than you think. I send you much strength, awareness, and insight as you go through this season of your life. Again, thank you for making Affirmation Pod a part of your journey. Thank you for being here with me for this 400th episode. If you want the Affirmation Pod experience without ads and without announcements, you get access to that by becoming an Affirmation Pod Premium Access member. It's all available in the Affirmation Pod app, which you can download at affirmationpodapp.com and then tap on Premium Access. Once you're in, you also get bonus episodes that you won't hear on this podcast. There's over 70 of them, maybe even over 80 of them now. I haven't counted for a while. Start today by getting the app at affirmationpodapp.com. That's affirmationpodapp.com. And don't forget, Native has their limited edition collection with sweet, luscious scents through their partnership with Baked by Melissa. As an Affirmation Pod listener, you get 20% off your first order. Check it out today by going to nativedeo.com/affirmation or use promo code affirmation at checkout. Your order also helps support me to continue bringing episodes like this one to you. So again, it's nativedeo.com/affirmation. Thank you for listening to Affirmation Pod today. Thank you for listening whenever you've needed to hear the words, to hear the affirmations. Now go be you, know you, and love you. This is Josie with Affirmation Pod. Bye for